What's poppin' T Squad? It's me, Keisha, and I'm here with tonight's All Tea, All Shade, Kandi and the Gang Season 1, Episode 1 review. Make sure you guys tune in later on today at 6 p.m. Central Time. I'm dropping a new episode of Fashion Killer featuring my good girlfriend, Sharita. Also have a bunch of Spill the Tea and behind the scenes tea videos dropping throughout the week, as well as another episode of Tea Party. Thank you all for tuning in to the one that I just dropped last week. Me and Sheridan discussed Tasha K's interview with Sean Stockman from Boys to Men's mistress, Avante Wright. Make sure you check that video out. And this week I have a luxury labels video dropping. I recently just purchased a bunch of luxury labels, but the gag is I got them all on a budget. So I'm going to teach you how to shop luxury on a budget. So you do not want to miss that video. I got these neck strips on my head because I just bleached my hair tonight. So anywho, all right. So on tonight's episode, the series premiere episode of Kandi and the Gang, Kandi and Todd are heading over to the restaurant before it opens up. They are in the car discussing how when they were more active at the restaurant, things were moving a lot better. It was a more of a tight ship going on, but since they're so busy with their other business ventures, things have kind of just gone to the wayside over at OLG. Kandi even says it's like the Wild Wild West over there. There's no leadership because their two general managers are gone. They currently have one in place by the name of Brandon, but he got bumped up because the other two left, but he's really not good at being a general manager. So they have decided to bring on a gentleman by the name of Philip, who was the general manager over at their steakhouse, Blaze. So Philip came from, working at an upscale restaurant for over 16 years. He's very disciplined, handsome guy, whatever, but he's very straightforward, cookie cutter, cardboard cutout type of guy. Very, very anal, very type A type of dude. He gets the job done. So their plan is to come to OLG and tell the staff that Philip is the new general manager. So then we begin to meet the staff. So first up, we have Chandrika, who is a former hostess, but she still is the hostess because that's what she was doing. It was very confusing, but she has a sarcastic attitude. They have gotten several complaints about her attitude from customers, and I don't like her at all. I don't understand why she's there. She is horrible. Her attitude is deplorable. Her wig is atrocious. And that makes, her attitude and her disposition makes her just ugly. And she's not an ugly girl, but her attitude makes her ugly, if that makes sense. Then we meet Dominique, who is the bartender, and she gives me that she could be very much Sukiana's sister. They have very similar facial features. She is a background dancer. Her main love is dancing, and Kandi and Todd even point out that she puts dancing over her job as a bartender. So that causes a problem there. Then we meet the guy Brandon, who I said is the current GM, but he's not very good at it. He just there pretty much. It seemed like there ain't no air up there. He just seemed like it's do 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 do. Like I don't know what's going on with young man, but no. So Kandi and Todd, as well as Philip and Don Juan, head upstairs to talk to the staff about upgrading the restaurant because they want to, spruce it up, make it new with a new vibe and everything like that because things have gotten, monotonous or whatever. Then they tell them that Philip is the new general manager, and Chandrika says, "Ooh, I don't like him." And I'm like, I immediately went to, oh, she got to be showing out for the cameras. Like, no way. No way. And for a minute there, I was like, did they dub that in? Was that a voiceover? But no, she actually did say that. And I'm looking like, I know you lying. Like, and to say that in front of your bosses, like, it's okay. Like, what kind of shit is going on here? What kind of restaurant is this? And what? The disrespect of it all, like, how are you that comfortable to say some shit like that in front of your bosses? But I'm like, her name is Chandrika. What did I expect? Okay. Um, so then Dominique is behind the bar and she was like, we love it here sometimes. How are these people working here? How do they have a job? I don't understand this. If you don't like it here all the time, bitch, then fucking dot the door. Go find somebody to do the typewriter behind, or go back to see if Megan Thee Stallion will work with your ass since you only like her here sometimes. Like, bitch, who the fuck? Girl, Kandi and Todd are better than me. So then, um, Philip speaks and he makes it clear that, it's a new boss in town pretty much, and that he will not tolerate their foolishness. Kandi then tells the staff that she wants to throw like a reunion party with the old OLG staff members and the new people, and just, get that camaraderie going again. And because they used to have parties all the time before COVID, they just want to get that vibe back. So after the staff meeting, Don Juan pulls Chandrika to the side, and basically was like, what was that about, and makes it clear to her that what Philip says goes, and like, things are going to change around here. He then asks Philip to join them in the conversation, and Philip basically tells her he won't tolerate her negative energy. And so Kandi in her confessional says, when people are loyal from the beginning, I try to work with them. And Todd disagrees. Like, no, that's not how it works. I mean, it's great that she's a loyal person, but her attitude sucks, and her attitude is a representation of your business. So if you're getting customer complaints about this one person, would you rather have her loyalty or continue to get bad reviews because of her piss poor attitude that obviously she's not willing to change? I mean, figure out a way for her to work behind the scenes then, where ain't nobody got to deal with her if you want to keep her on that bad. But me, she would have been fired. Ain't no motherfucking way you gonna be a representation of me and my brand and do a piss poor job of it and think that you're gonna continue to be rewarded for bad behavior. But this comes from Kandi, somebody that continuously rewards her own mama for horrible ass behavior. For Kandi to be such a dynamic businesswoman, she makes some idiotic decisions at times, because ain't no way. So back in the conversation between Philip and Chandrika and Don Juan, he says, Philip says, you think you run things. And Chandrika was like, I don't like to be talked to like that. I'm like, bitch, you started it. You started this whole thing. So Philip was like, I'm not gonna walk on eggshells because you feel uncomfortable about my presence. And I'm like, a man. So Chandrika was like, I don't care about your presence. Bitch, fired. 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 Ain't no more even talking, because I wouldn't even gave her that much energy. Fired. How about that? You ain't never got to deal with my energy. Fired. Fired. Because you started it with your mouth. So you think you can say whatever you want to, but can't nobody say nothing back to you? It's that wig. It got to be that wig. That wig had her head all the way fucked up. So Philip in his confessional was like, I guess the producers or whatever doing his confessional asked him, was he threatened by Chandrika? And he was like, I'm not threatened by Chandrika. She's a greeter. That shit tickled me, because baby, in a game of reads, I think he would read Chandrika down. I don't know if Philip is gay or not, but even if he wasn't, it looked like he would still read her ass for filth. So Chandrika was like, I talked to Don Juan. Basically, like, I'm not going to continue to talk to you. Any grievances I have will go to Don Juan. But like Kandi made clear early in the episode, it is not Don Juan's job to continue to be over here delegating and handling issues at OLG. He has other things to do. He's basically like her COO. Like, no. So Philip says, you want to continue to talk to Don Juan, you can do it unemployed. How about that, sis? So then she decides to play the victim and walk off crying. Don Juan follows her, and she talking about some, he's rude. He's rude, but bitch, you started it. So now the restaurant is 20 minutes late open, and they got a line wrapped around the goddamn door. Just get at toe. And I've already heard things about OLG. I've heard that the food is cool. From most of the people that I've heard that went there, they was like, the food is good. It ain't nothing that's like blowing your mind great. And they were saying that it was too salty. But other than that, it was a cute little place to go to if you just want something, whatever. And if you just want to show your support. So on top of that, you open it up 20 minutes late. Your staff is all over the place. Your hostess is a bitch. Like, girl, ain't nobody got time for this. I would rather go to goddamn me Waffle House than to go there. So Philip then overhears Chandrika telling Dominique what happened between them and steady running her mouth. And he was like, why are you still talking about this? Like, I'm not right here, standing right here. He was like, you know what? You're done. Go home. Go home. And I was like, exactly, because she should have been fired. She should have been fired. So she grabs her stuff. She goes outside. She talking shit to the camera. She got to go. She got to go. She has to go. So Kandi finds out that he sent her home. So I was like, why you send her home? And he was like, because of her attitude. And, she's steady talking about the stuff. Todd in his confession was like, I would have sent her ass home too. I'm like, you need to let Todd run shit, because Kandi lead with her heart instead of her brain. Like, because no. So Kandi goes to Aunt Nora's house, and we finally learn the ages of the OLG. So Aunt Nora is the oldest. She's 82. Aunt Bertha is 80. And then Mama Joyce is 72. So Mama Joyce is 20 years younger than Aunt Nora. Aunt Nora looks great for her age. She really looks great. And it's crazy how Aunt Nora and Aunt Bertha are only 2 years apart, and it looks like a major age difference by just their physical looks, because Aunt Bertha looks so much older than Aunt Nora. I thought this whole time Aunt Bertha was the oldest one, but it's really Aunt Nora. Aunt Nora is holding up wonderful. I know one thing, I need for somebody to talk to Aunt Bertha about her foundation or whatever she putting on her face that got her face looking red, because she was up here looking like a goddamn raspberry by the face. I need for somebody to, get Mama Bertha out of her setting her ways. She look like she still use Mary Kay #5, but I need for them to, hook her up with some Fenty or something, swap the shit out, because she is on television looking like the big red apple or Clifford the big red dog by the face. So Kandi goes, like I said, to Aunt Nora's house to talk to them all separately about OLG. Mama Joy says that Brandon don't give a shit about the place, and she even heard him oversay it. And Kandi calls her out for talking crazy to Brandon. Aunt Bertha says that the girl that used to be the hostess, Chandrilla, got a nasty attitude. And Kandi was like, Chandrika? And she was like, yeah. She was like, she still worked there. Bertha don't even know the lady still worked there. But when she called her Chandrilla, I hollered, because that's her new name. So Kandi tells her aunts and her mama that she doesn't want them stressed out over the business. This not what she and Todd started it for, and that she wants them to stay out the kitchen, and she don't want them arguing with the staff. So they was all looking like, okay, but damn well they ain't gonna listen to her. So then we meet Torian, who is the former events planner. He used to run their Friday night parties or whatever, and he was doing something else at the restaurant. He was basically spreading himself too thin, and he quit. But Kandi and Todd have brought him back to throw the little family reunion event party in their, patio or whatever, outdoors. Chandrika arrives to the event thinking she is doing the damn thing, honey, in one of her boutique outfits with them lace-up sandals laced all the way up to her kneecaps. I'm like, girl, if you don't let that shit be laced around your ankles with your country ass, but you couldn't tell her shit with that musty looking wig on her head. But I'm like, okay, girl. So she sees Philip and she tunes up her face. At least that's what they edited to make it look like. Brandon and Dominique flirting, knowing damn well they shouldn't be flirting because they work with each other and ain't no fraternizing. Kandi and Todd arrive. They're very pleased with the outcome of everything. Tori and Honey arrives for the event in blush pink shorts, suits. 'Suits? 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 'Suits That's all I gotta say. He looked like a toddler on Easter Sunday. Hated it. And you couldn't tell, homeboy, he wasn't sharp. You couldn't tell him he wasn't sharp. Okay? He looked like he got that outfit from Sears Roebucks when he was 10, and he said, I'm never giving this outfit up. Never. So he, however, wants to come back to OLG because he really enjoyed working there. Of course, they're gonna bring him back. He, Chandrika, and Dominique kicking with each other outside of work, so you already know this about to be some mess. Brian, the ex bartender, child, shows up on screen, and he was giving me Extra Dancer from Electric Boogaloo. I don't know where this man is going with this 80s aesthetic, but I am offended. I need for him to step into the light, Carol Ann, because his "you're a maniac, maniac on no run," that's and you're dancing like you never felt before. That's what his outfits give me, and I don't have time. He got a curl toupee, and he admits that he's wearing a toupee, and then goes to say that he knows it looks good. Lies, falsehoods, and fallacies, sir. You have a curl toupee on your head. Who still even wears a curl with activator? And you got the nerve to say that you know it looks good. I need for you to have several. Then in his confessional, he got a toupee on his head that's giving me Fantasia 2010. I'm like, no, sir, no. Kandi invites him back. Of course, he wants to come back as well. Then we meet Rashard, who is the host at Blade. Now, Rashard can dress. When he showed his outfits, I was like, come on, come on. Now, I liked his aesthetic, loved everything about it. And Kandi wants him to work extra over at OLG. She still wants him over at Blaze, but she also wants him to work extra at OLG. He is, of course, excited about this because he needs some more money, honey, to buy them suits. So Kandi wants him to like mentor Chandrika to get her together. So he introduces them, and Chandrika says, "Oh, I'll show you the ropes." And I was like, "Girl, if you show him the ropes, he gonna fall off that motherfucker because you can't teach nobody nothing." So at one point, we see him turned off by Dominique's drunk behavior because he was like, "Girl, you drunk." She's like, "No, I ain't." He was like, "You just said you was." Like, what is going on? Then he shaded the shit out of Dominique in his confessional time. So I hope I don't act like that when I'm her age. I'm like, how old is this bitch? So it was a mess. So it's Rashard's first day at OLG, and Philip gives him the rundown of how everything is going to go and who he's going to be working with. Child, the restaurant is set to open in like 6 minutes. People are standing out the door because it's a Saturday, it's summer, it's 94 degrees, and Chandrika is late. She is actually 10 minutes away in her car, driving with no hands, taking curlers out of her hair, and has the nerve to say that, "Oh, this look good." Lies. You're blind. Ray Charles. No, ma'am. So everybody like, where in the hell is she at? Like, you cannot arrive to work at the time you supposed to be there, bitch. Like, what the fuck is going on? So she literally arrives as the doors open, and Don Juan and Philip are looking like this is unacceptable, which it is. But she arrives like ain't no problem, and she even admitted in on the ride there that she's late all the time. And she still has a job. Explain that to me. Brandon thinks that Philip is uptight and doesn't care about other people's feelings. Let me tell you something. Me and Philip are just alike when it comes to business. I do not play games because I am very professional when it comes to my career and my business, and I expect the same from other people. I don't have time for disobedience, for laziness, for negativity, for attitudes. We here to do a job. Of course, I'm going to reward you. I'm going to be cool, all of that stuff. But at the same time, we are in business with each other. We're not here to be best friends. This isn't RuPaul's best friends race. And that man is there to do a job, and y'all are ghetto and unprofessional. So maybe Brandon should be worried less about his penis and more about his job. How about that, sir? So Rashard thinks that Chandrika is a horrible host, and I agree. He was like, I wouldn't want to go into a restaurant and see the hostess with a piercing in her neck. Now that I didn't agree with, because her having a piercing in her neck is neither here nor there. It's not something aesthetically that I would ever get, but it's not nothing where I'd be like, ew, I don't want to work there because she has a piercing in her neck. I felt like that was capping. He was doing too much, and that was just stupid. Especially in the day and age that we live in now, where people got piercings and body tattoos and all of that stuff. Like that doesn't bother me more than her attitude. So Chandrika is sending people downstairs to wait until there's a table, but it's getting packed. He's steady running up and down the stairs trying to make sure that people got someplace to sit, even though he like, why is she letting these people in? It's just a mess. Like, it's, why wouldn't you just tell these people we're full right now, it's gonna be like an hour wait, I would suggest you come back. That's the best that you can do. So Brandon and Dominique is flirting behind the bar. They both admit that there's so much sexual tension between them. He asks her out on a date, and he even admits that he started working at OLG because he was a customer there, saw her, and decided to apply for a job. I'm like, if this bitch ain't your wife, for you to go through all of that to be around her when you could have just easily asked for her number. Child, like, I ain't never heard of no shit like that. If y'all don't get married, you's a goddamn fool. So then the power goes off, and I'm like, how can this day get any worse? It was Aunt Bertha who's sitting there said, "Uh-oh, y'all ain't got no lights." You ain't got no lights either, Aunt Bertha. Your name on the goddamn door. That shit tickled me. Kandi then arrives, finds out that the lights been off for like 10 minutes. She like, nah, it would, go out when I come. So then she's walking around the restaurant, talking to the customers, trying to ease their worries, apologizing for the experience and everything. It's just embarrassing. It's honestly embarrassing at this point. So Philip tells Brandon to get up and man the tables because he's sitting down like, okay, the lights is off. Nothing for me to do. Let me just sit and take me a break. No, bitch, get your ass up and go check on these fucking customers and make sure that they're okay. Like, you need to be giving people water, ice, or whatever the case may be, keeping people happy until we can get this thing situated instead of you sitting down like you one of the motherfucking customers. And then got an attitude when he tell this man to get up. And then Philip tells the cook, you need to get back there in the kitchen, sir. And Brandon asks him, how you supposed to get back there in the kitchen if you ain't got no lights? I understand that there's no light, but bitch, you got a phone with a light on it. Figure it the fuck out. Like, we are in a restaurant. You just don't get to sit here and sit on your ass. We got to make sure that these people stay happy and comfortable so they don't just get the fuck up and walk out on our asses and we lose all this motherfucking money for the day. Like, what? Where are y'all at? So, what's that? Philip then tells Kandi that he spoke to the electric company and they said that it's gonna be like 3.5 hours before the lights come on. Child, and the discussion of them not having a backup generator is brought up. And Kandi sounds, well, I guess she was like, well, the lights go off around here all the time. If this ain't the first time this shit didn't happen, then why the fuck haven't y'all gotten a fucking generator? That's just some idiotic shit on you and Todd's fucking part, because that's ridiculous. If you know that your restaurant has the tendency of the lights going off, why in the fuck haven't you invested in a fucking generator? And then Todd says in his goddamn confessional that, I mean, to do that, it'll take this, that, and the third. And then if it only happens a few times, then I'll just deal with that. You know what? You go right ahead. You go right ahead. Because y'all are stupid. Y'all are stupid. Y'all are so fucking stupid, because all that money y'all got, especially you, Kandi, you worth over $40 million. You can't invest in no fucking backup generator. That is fucking ridiculous. Ridiculous. Even if you don't want to be bothered with it, delegate it to somebody else who can get the shit done. But that is unacceptable. Unacceptable. And so after that, the episode goes off. Child, if nothing this episode didn't do for me is piss me the fuck off, because everybody's dumb. Everybody's dumb. Everybody's dumb. But I'm gonna be tuning in next week like a fool. Overall, though, I give the series premiere episode of Kandi and the Gang give it a B plus A minus. That's where I'm at with this, because it's not like we haven't seen a show like this before. Remember that Pink Teacup reality show that was based on that restaurant, the Pink Teacup in New York or whatever. It's giving me that vibe, but a little bit less ratchet. But yeah, I'm excited that on this network, however, that we have a black show about a black restaurant, because we have been force fed Vanderpump Rules for it over the last 10 years. So it's good that we get that type of atmosphere over here in the African American restaurant. I just need for them to do better, because Lisa Vanderpump would never. So Kandi and them got to get it together and stop half-assing this shit. Okay, let me know what y'all thought about the episode down below in the comment section. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I love you guys, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.